Hey everyone, this is Kelly from 12 Acres Farm, and today I'm here in front of one of my shade houses and I'm going to be potting up some ginger. Now I started these plants about 2 months ago. I have a little tag here that I write the date and the plant name. Otherwise I end up forgetting when I've planted what. Now ginger starts out as a little rhizome just like this. This is a bit of an old one. I had it sitting around and it's actually gone a bit soft, so I don't think it's any good for planting anymore. You plant it just about that much under the soil, and depending on what time of the year it is can depend on how long it will take to sprout. But in my case it took about a month and it sprouted, and as you can see here, so this is the top of the ginger. As it grows across instead of going down. So I only planted it in this small pot just to get it going. And as you can see from the bottom, we've got a good root system going, and I've probably left it a little bit too long, so I need to get this into a bigger pot ASAP. So I've got my pot here. I'm going to put it into something this big, and I'm just going to do one plant per pot, and I hope it's going to be a big enough size. I don't really have anything bigger laying around at the moment, and I don't have time to run down and get some more pots. So this is going to have to do, and I will pot it up a bit later if I need to. But in the meantime, I'm going to pop over to the compost and fill up my pot, and then we can get going. So this is one of our compost bays. We have a 3-bay system. This has been sitting here for quite a while, so it's ready to use. So I am going to get shoveling, and I'm going to fill it, the pot about that much. Then I'll put the new plant in, and then I'll top it back up with soil. So I'll get going. Okay, so I've got my pot, which is about filled up to about here. I've got my plant, and pop out the label, which I'm going to put back in. I find it is best to label everything in the garden, whether you write on the pot or you have a little tag, whatever system you use. It's so handy because if you're like me, you're going to forget what plant you've planted where and what variety it is. So it's especially important if you're planting different varieties. Okay, so I'm going to get this plant in, and I'm going to give the pot a little bit of a squeeze, just a gentle squeeze, just to loosen the soil. Oh, awesome. Look at that. How good is that? Okay. I'm going to pop that in, and that's the perfect height of soil. So I will just finish topping that up. And look at that. Ready to go. Now I've got quite a few more ginger plants to pot up today. So I better get going because it is hot. Now, I'm growing ginger in pots this year because I did start it quite late. When winter comes, if it's not ready yet, I can move it into my hothouse and it can continue growing. Win-win. Unfortunately, I am damaging some of the roots as I'm transferring it. I think I left it a bit too long. so the roots were sticking out a lot from the bottom. So hopefully I'm not doing too much damage. I don't know if you can see, but I have sweat dripping off my face. It is very hot out here today. I think next week it's going to get to 39 degrees Celsius. We are in the last month of summer though, so that's always the way. When it's summer, you wish it was winter, and when it's winter, you wish it was summer. We can never be happy. This is my last pot, so I'm going to have to pop down and grab some more pots from the house. This one, the roots are really coming out. I hope I'm not going to have too much trouble getting this out of the pot. Might have to try and gently break apart some of these roots just so I can get it through the holes of the pot. Hope they're not going to go into shock too much. My goodness. This is what happens when you've been busy and you don't have time to get out into your garden and do the work needed. Okay. Oh, finally. Would you look at that? That's crazy. That's really crazy. Wow, this is fantastic. Just having a little peek here, I can already see some new growth forming here and here. That wasn't there when I planted this. So that's exciting. I've tried to use store-bought ginger before, and it can work providing you buy organic. If you don't buy the organic ones, they'll be sprayed with some sort of chemical to stop it from sprouting. These rhizomes I bought online off a website called The Seed Collection. I'm really hoping I can get a good harvest out of these. I know it's late in the season, but I can pop them in the hothouse and they can continue growing. That's the plan anyway, so we'll see how it goes. I don't think we're going to eat any of it this year. I think I'm going to just plant it all back into pots to grow again so we can get a bigger harvest next year, and hopefully then we can start eating it. Every gardener who loves gardening will tell you that it's worth being out in the heat to do gardening. Well, maybe not every gardener, but it's definitely how I feel. Well, I'm not sure how I'm going to walk in there now because it's extremely full, but that's not a bad problem. Oh, it is hot. So this is one of my shade houses now. It was a hot house with some plastic over it, but in summer I take the plastic off and put shade cloth on and utilize it as a shade house. It's very full at the moment. We've got turmeric, we've got little mulberry trees that I took from cuttings from our white mulberry tree. We've got the ginger, we've got passion fruit, and I might have a couple of grapes in there too from when I did the grape cuttings at the end of winter last year. I need to get another hothouse soon because coming into winter I'm going to be cutting back our grapevines again and getting lots more plants. So yeah, here we go. So thank you so much for joining me today, and if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. And in the meantime, hope you can get out into your garden today despite the heat or cold or wherever you are. Try and get out, get your hands in the dirt because it is good for your soul. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.